A customer has asked me for some French country doors. This is a closet in a room that has a French country, French provincial style to it. And this isn't something you can buy off the shelf. So I'm going to show you how you can embellish a door to give it this French country style in your home.
Our videos show you how to add value and character to your home.
This is the centerpiece of the room, so it really needs to visually work.
Learn how to get quality results that you'll be proud of. Welcome to Home Improvement Woodworking.
Let me show you the rough sketch that I'm using for this build. So I've got two doors here, they'll be hinged at the sides. And here this is just a plain door to give you an idea of the structure. So it's a 3-inch border all the way around with 8 1/4 at the bottom. And then on this side here, I've just roughly sketched in some of the embellishments that are really going to dress up the door and give it that French country look. The way I'm building these doors is putting a dado in each of the styles. So I'm going to mock this up. This is the bottom, this is the side and the side, and I have a 1/2-inch panel. And I need to put that dado somewhere in here. So if I put 3/4 inches behind it, just for a spacing, and then put my 1/2-inch panel in, that gives me a slight recess here. So I'll take out my parts here. So that goes there, and this is now sitting proud of the door frame. And I don't like that. That to me does not look right. What I'm looking for is to mimic some carving going on in here. So a 3/4 inch space at the back is too much. Let's try something smaller. This is 1/2-inch plywood as well. Put that in here. Okay, so that's recessed a little bit. And then let's try the trim. There, so that's looking much better in terms of being an integrated piece that's carved. If you'd like to learn how to build a door like this, we've got a separate video on that. We'll leave a link in the video description below. The first piece of detail is this trim that goes along the inside. It takes it from a shaker look more like a traditional door look. And then the second step is adding in some decorative moldings. Now, I've been debating on what to do here. So I had the customer take a look at them, and some people on Instagram also weighed in. 3 different ways you could do this. The customer chose to do a more integrated look, so this looks like it's more of a carved detail all the way through, rather than 2 separate elements being added to the door. The next step for adding this French country detail is some decorative trim. And mark it here and up here so that this becomes part of that overall trim. I'll show you how I cut these parts out. I've got some nice straight lines here and here, but I still have an area at the end to let this in. The only way to deal with that is to cut it by hand. So I'm going to pull out my carving knife. So what I need to do is just cut this back a little bit, work my way back to that line, and then once I'm there, I just come back this way gently and clear out the chips. So what I want to do is make sure I don't have a lip anywhere up here. So now I can put it in place, make sure it fits. Yep, nice snug fit. So there you can see it looks more integrated than it was before, just sitting on the edge of the trim. So rather than that, this. And that looks more like it's part of the molding. The glue up is fairly straightforward. It's just a matter of applying enough glue so that you can spread it around and not get enough so you get squeezed out at the top. So I use an artist brush when I spread glue, not your fingers, because they have oils in them and they can contaminate the glue and weaken the glue. Okay, so those 4 pieces are in place. Now it's just a matter of putting these corner decorative elements in. And it's fairly straightforward, just applying glue across the design and then spreading out the glue. You don't want too much glue on here because, again, you don't want a ton of squeeze out. A tiny bit's okay, but you don't want to get carried away with that glue. And you might notice that I've numbered these. The reason I numbered them was because I wanted to make sure that if I fit one in a corner and cut it, that I didn't swap it with another one because it might be a different size. Another important step in making sure these appliques look like a carving in the door is to apply a thick primer. What I want to do is transition between the door and the applique to make sure that there's no gaps there. So this thick primer covers up those gaps, and I also put it on the trim to make sure there's a nice seamless flow between the doors and the trim. The last thing before the rest of the primer goes on are these escutcheon plates here. There are knobs that are going on top of these, and what I want to do is center them in the stiles and center them in the rails. So I'll mark those up, fill these with epoxy, and then stick them on. With these doors now painted, you can see the French country style really coming to life. Now the customer brought me some knobs to put on here, but I suggested to her they looked a little bit small for the scale of the doors. When you're looking at designs, sometimes concepts like this, it's difficult to see what they're going to be like until you see something actually built. So I encouraged her to go out and see what else she could find. And this is what she came up with, a beautiful cut glass doorknob. So I think this is going to be fantastic. So I need to attach these, and then I'll take you to the home of the customer, install the doors, and you get to see the final product.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. I love it. Scott, you did a great job. The escutcheons, everything looks beautiful. It's beautiful. It's absolutely what I was looking for. Lovely. These doors took me, I don't know, how long was I looking? How long was I looking to find these doors? Over a year. Over a year to find someone who could do this. You did a phenomenal job. It's the exact look I was looking for. This is the exact feel. I was looking for that old country, like French provincial type feeling, and the shabby chic. And it ties in perfectly because I wanted an older looking furniture. So I think this dresser took me about 7 or 8 months to find. The bed took me about 10 or 11 months to find. But I have to say, finding you and finding the doors, I think maybe took me a year, maybe even a little bit over a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like just to find you. But then you brought my creation, like my vision to life. I love it. I love it. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Well, as you can tell, we've got a pretty happy customer. We're starting to get comments from around the world on our videos. So if you can leave a comment below where you're from, and if you're really tech savvy, a flag of your country, it'd be great to see the various viewers we've got and what country you're from. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can click over here and click on the bell icon, and you'll get notified every time we publish a video. Until next time, enjoy your time in the workshop.